So when the North American Free Trade Agreement was signed in 1964, bourbon became the distinctive product of the United States of America, and it still is today. You can only make bourbon in America, and it has to follow a strict code of production. First of all, it can only be made in America. That's the A in the ABCs. And then the B is barrel. You got to use a new barrel every single time when you make bourbon whiskey. In fact, behind you over there, you'll see a couple of hundred barrels that are for sale because we can't do anything with them. We've already used them once, and once you use a new barrel, it's got to go. Get it out of here. C stands for corn content. It's got to be at least 51% corn if you want to call it bourbon whiskey. And D stands for distillation proof. We have about 5 copper stills up there, the massive copper stills that I think you'll see later. And those stills, the alcohol that comes off of them has to be 160 proof or lower. If it's 160 proof or higher, congratulations, you're fired, and you can go work for my friend Tito Beverage because you're no longer making bourbon, you're now making vodka or neutral grain spirits if you're at 160 proof or higher. E stands for entry proof. When that bourbon goes into a barrel, it's got to be 125 proof or lower. So let's say it comes off the still at 140 proof, we'll add rainwater to it, cut the proof down to below 125 proof, and then we enter it into the barrel. F stands for fill proof. When we fill that bottle, it's got to be 80 proof. You see that little bottle over there? It's got to be a minimum of 80 proof if you want to call it bourbon whiskey. And G is the most important letter in the bourbon alphabet, and that stands for genuine. No artificial colors, no sweeteners, no caramel additives, no vanilla. You can't add that to bourbon. All of the flavor has to come from the barrel itself.